Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Truman Show. Are you ready for some absurd escape antic? No problem, thanks. No worries, director. They haven't greeted each other. The cop shouted Truman's name, and like a doorway to freedom, Truman pushed the car door open, deciding to sprint through the crowd. He dashed into a forest, but unfortunately he was outnumbered and ultimately got caught by a mob. With the police's help, Truman was safely returned home. He suddenly grilled his wife, "If you don't love me, why have kids?" His wife dodged, grabbed cocoa and said, "Want a new cocoa drink? This is natural cocoa from the top of the mountain. Totally not basic." "What are you talking about? I've tried tons of cocoa, and this is the best." Her actions drove Truman absolutely under her husband's pressure. The wife panicked, grabbed a kitchen tool for defense, but Truman snatched it away. "Do something." This line only deepened Truman's suspicions. He questioned his wife about who was behind this. Then Marlon arrived to resolve the crisis. He diffused the tension, and they moved to a bridge for a heart-to-heart. Marlon was Truman's best friend, known since they were 7. They considered each other brothers, and Marlon vowed to support Truman unconditionally, making him teary-eyed. Little did he know, every word from Marlon was fed to him by the director. "The last thing he'll do is deceive you." This pause made Truman realize that Marlon was part of it all. Just as the truth threatened to be revealed, the producers decided to go all in, since everything related to his father. Why not bring the father-son duo together for a dramatic reveal? Might even boost ratings. Truman could hardly imagine reuniting with his dad after 20 years, and the audience was hyped for the upcoming drama. The opportunity was set under the cameras as Truman's emotions peaked, combined with the live music, plus a perfectly timed close. The emotional moment of the father-son reunion was captured brilliantly, deeply moving all the viewers at home. This massive viewership made the investors roll in cash, and everyone was basking in the joyous vibe, but Sybil sitting in front of the TV felt gloomy, clearly feeling for Truman. To celebrate the spike in ratings, the host conducted a live interview. The director didn't live on Truman Island, but on a man-made moon above it. It was as high as a 221-story building, allowing him to observe the entire Truman Island at all times. The host queried about recent happenings, and the director admitted he arranged for Truman's father to drown to give him a phobia of water, leaving Truman unable to leave the island forever. But some of the cast were reluctant to cooperate and wanted to wrap up. They always found ways back to the set, including Truman's missing-at-sea father. Luckily, these issues were resolved, and next up was the viewer call-in section. Audience questions unveiled Truman's background. He was adopted by the director from an institution. Through creating a false world, they turned Truman's life into one giant reality show. Though they invested time and energy, they also reaped huge commercial benefits. Next up on call was Sybil, angrily berating the director for his methods. The director shot back that she was merely a guest star in a few minutes of Truman's life. She really didn't know his life and certainly had no standing to critique the show. Subtitles. Sybil found herself at a loss for words, given that the Truman Show seldom got negative feedback. Nobody cared for her opinion. The director's next plan was for Truman to get divorced. To set him up with a new wife and live stream their romantic escapades, talk about a crazy idea. Truman will have no privacy at all. The next day, the Truman Show went on as usual. Truman went about his daily routine as usual, but inside, he was turning things upside down. Same old faces, same old stuff, but Truman was surprisingly brighter. During his work, a new female actor cast by the director made her entrance, meeting Truman right on cue. They thought the show would go smoothly, but the director sensed something was off. Ever since his wife departed, Truman has relocated to the basement, never turning over nor getting up at night during sleep. Truly an extraordinary occurrence. When the camera zoomed in closely, they could actually hear him snoring. Concerned, the director ordered the crew to call Truman, but he didn't pick up. The director reviewed the footage and stumbled upon an unexpected clue. There was a hand in the corner. They quickly sent Marlon to the basement to check it out, and what he found was unbelievable. Upon lifting the blanket, he found just a doll and a radio playing snoring sounds. They searched high and low in the basement, but found no sign of Truman. Only when they opened the wardrobe did they find a way out. The director panicked as he bolted to the backyard, out of sight of the cameras. After 30 years of uninterrupted broadcasting, the show suddenly faced cancellation due to the lead going MIA. What a disaster. The backstage phones exploded with calls from viewers, prompting the director to issue an urgent search for Truman. All actors mobilized, launching an all-out search of Truman Island. The moon in the sky is transformed into a giant spotlight. Despite the exhaustive search, they found no clues. Under pressure, the director decided to raise the sun early. This illuminated the whole island, but Truman seemed to have vanished into thin air. The director decided to go live temporarily to maintain the ratings. With a single command from the production crew, all actors completely froze in place. The director suddenly thought of a place completely overlooking the ocean. When cameras finally panned to the ocean, surely enough, there was Truman, and they resumed the broadcast. There was Truman, steering a sailboat over the waves, facing his fear of the water. What a hero. He pulled out a taped-together photo. It was his beloved. True love never gives up. Even though he never ceased searching for his beloved, the director quickly sent actors out to chase, but they, after all, were from Truman Island, had no sailing skills. As Truman sailed toward freedom, the director had a last-ditch plan up his sleeve.